Hey there, it's Seb Frey here with another exciting episode of It's a Seb Show. And yes, I'm wearing a mask. And why am I wearing a mask? Well, there are a lot of reasons why, because there's a pandemic. Haven't you heard? Well, actually, the big news is that now you don't need to have masks anymore if you've been fully vaccinated, except if you're in a hospital or wherever else. I mean, there's a few places where you're supposed to wear a mask still, but the CDC came out and then they said, hey, like the mask requirement is gone if you've been vaccinated. And guess what? Yesterday was 2 weeks after my last COVID vaccine. So I had 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine, had no trouble with them whatsoever, no secondary effects of any note really whatsoever. And yeah, I am good to go. And I'm super excited. So I have stopped wearing my mask out and about. And I was never, super Mr. Mask guy. I mean, I always wore it like inside around other people. But when I was walking on the beach, forgive me, I would not have my mask on. But very soon, I'm not going to have this mask on hardly ever anymore because the CDC says now we don't have to have them anymore. And I guess in California, I just saw today a little headline zipped by on my computer screen saying Gavin Newsom or whatever is saying California's mask-free date will be June 15th. And I guess even after that, it's going to be up to specific businesses. They can continue to have a mask requirement if they want, right? So the masks will be with us for a little while longer, but clearly they're going on their way out. And it's interesting now because like after a year of wearing masks right now, like you're hearing people say, gee, I might continue to wear a mask because I've not been sick in a whole year or whatever, which is true. I've not been sick in a whole year. This has been my healthiest year ever, not even a sniffle or a sneeze or a cough or anything in over a year. And I've heard a lot of people say that, and they're saying, gee, maybe there's something to this. Maybe all those people in Asia really had it figured out a long time ago that wearing masks actually cut down on all kinds of airborne illnesses. Who knew? And, maybe it's not such a bad thing to wear a mask. And you hear some women saying, like I've seen women say, like, hey, I don't have to put on a full face of makeup anymore. I mean, not that anybody ever has to put on makeup, but they're feeling that they only need to do makeup, on this part of their face. And that's kind of nice. And other people are saying, like, I really like being sort of like anonymous, right? Like you put on some sunglasses, you got your mask on, and no one can recognize you, which is actually kind of a good thing for me because I'm semi-famous, sort of, right? I mean, like people recognize me, like in the grocery store and like just wherever I happen to be. They'll say, "Hey, Seb, how are you?" And they recognize me because like I try to get my face out there, and a lot of times, I don't really know a lot of these people, right? So for me, like if I just want to have a casual day, like out and about, it's kind of nice just to have a mask on and some sunglasses. Like you really have to know me pretty well to recognize me at that point. So there's a certain amount of, anonymity that goes together with like having a mask. And a lot of people are saying that they're kind of missing that. They're going to miss that aspect of mask wearing. But let me just circle back here to the real estate business because there's some big news that came along with this whole, mask mandate going away. And that is that open houses are now once again permitted. That's right. You can now do open houses for real estate once again here in the great state of California. And that is really going to change the game a lot. It's like if I wasn't busy enough already on the weekend showing property to buyers, now I'm going to have to show a property to buyers and do open houses on the weekend both. So I'll be working, 96 hours a week or whatever it's going to be now. But yeah, it's very exciting to have the open houses again because it does give you some more flexibility with the marketing strategy for your home. I mean, like it's been fairly regimented, right, with the need to have an appointment for every single buyer coming through your house. But now, once again, that is going to be relaxed and we can have a more, liberal standard for showing your house. Now, there are still going to be some regulations regarding, open houses. And there's a list that they posted and it varies from county to county. They're not all exactly the same. But the big news is that we can once again have open houses. And so we're very excited about that. But for me, really the bigger news is basically the fact that we're slingshotting out of this pandemic, right? I mean, things are rapidly changing. The economy is rapidly opening back up. And it's going to be a very exciting, second half of 2021. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I have a suspicion. My feeling is that the market is going to be insane once, in fact, the economy does fully get back together again and we have more people back in jobs. And, I think there's going to be a lot of money being spent out there on houses, on cars, on home improvement, on clothes and trips and all kinds of stuff. I think it's going to be a pretty heady end of 2021. And I think we're all kind of looking forward to that. after the year that we've all had. And mind you, we here in the United States, despite the fact we've had, sad to say, over 500,000 people die, I mean, at least things are looking up quite a bit more in the United States compared to many other countries in the world. And so for that, if nothing else, we should all be very grateful. All right, well, that is it. That's it for this episode of It's a Seb Show. I want to thank you so very much for watching, but I'm curious, what do you think? I would love to hear a comment. If you would write a comment, I would really appreciate that. Or a thumbs up, man. A thumbs up would be terrific. I would really dig that. And if you would share this with anybody you know who is interested in, what demasking means for the real estate market, although I don't think I exactly quite answered that. I sort of touched on it, at least, in this article. That would be fantastic. But it would be super sweet. This would be the sweetest of all. If you went bing, if you clicked on that subscribe button right there on my YouTube channel and subscribed to Seb Frey TV on YouTube, I would really, really appreciate it. All right, well, that is it. That's all I got for this episode of It's a Seb Show. But hey, calm down. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. I'll have another episode up again before too long.